We are starting off tonight's broadcast with an admission of a terrible tragedy. Four Horsemen will be losing perhaps its most key member of the crew. I know, Ron, you asked me not to tell anybody, but I have to tell the world.
Okay.
Ron Davis is dying.
What?
It's terminal, but I've made him a promise as a friend. We will see episode 9 before you die.
Episode 9?
The question is, though, it won't be at Skywalker Ranch, so where do we break into? Do we have to break into the Disney office? Like, what are we doing?
I know where this is
We
going.
need a plan.
I don't have a plan.
Okay, well, you don't have long to live, my friend.
I know.
And you're not going to make it till Christmas 2019.
As long as I can get to see the movie. As long as it doesn't suck. It won't
But
suck.
what if it sucks?
What if it can't suck?
What if it sucks?
Nobody got that reference.
I'm sure more people than you think got that reference.
Ricky's on Facebook with us. Ricky, did you get that reference? Let us know.
Just slide on into that comment section.
That's terrible.
And let us know what movie's that from. So, Ron, what is this week?
This week at Four Horsemen, like it is every week, it is our weekly show to discuss events, sales, promotions, and other nerdy topics.
Yes, and we are kicking this week off with a winner for last week's caption contest. Alex is getting that image queued up so we can show you that wonderful still from Galaxy Quest.
So, yeah, we started watching Galaxy Quest before last week's show, and Ryan found this amazing picture. It was kind of awesome.
So the premise is you walk into Four Horsemen. This is your reaction. What did you see? In our honorable mention comment was from John Tudyk, who said, somebody replaced the snack bar with a salad bar, didn't they?
Yes.
And our winner?
Winner, Josh Shin nabs it this week. The entire staff cosplaying characters from The Facts of Life.
Who would you be?
What was
Mrs. Garrett.
Yeah, I'm absolutely Mrs. Garrett.
Okay.
Absolutely. I need a red wig.
Can I be Mr. Garrison?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Garrison?
Wrong show. Wrong show. So, Josh, $25 gift card. Congratulations, buddy.
Good job, Josh.
All right, moving on to comics. We got to talk about some comics. We have a new book from Image this week. It is Exorcisters.
That
like
was cool.
Exorcist Sisters.
Exorcism.
And I'm pretty sure that girl on top is the girl from Runaways. I think Marvel's going
Is
to
it
have...
really?
I'm pretty sure... No, it's not. That's a joke.
I was going to say, how did Image get that?
Okay.
Good job, Image.
So this is a story about twin sisters who will extract your soul from hell for a price. And if you could pay them to extract one's soul from hell, who would it be?
Wait, who would I bring back from hell?
Yeah, who would you bring back from hell?
Oh, man. That's a great question.
That's a hell of a question.
That is a hell of a question. I don't know.
We're going to come back to this. For the Halloween
I'll think.
episode, you need an answer.
Okay, all right.
Four Horsemen mailbag.
Yeah,
Boom.
yep.
All right.
Hi,
Moving
Blaine.
on to DC Comics. Speaking of hell, what else do we have here, Ron?
Lucifer is out this week. Look, there are a couple really, really cool covers for Lucifer this week. It's part of the Sandman Universe series. Looks pretty neat.
Yeah, I gotta say that's a heck of a beard.
Yep.
That beard should be on a Nordic metal black metal cover.
Yes.
And
yes.
speaking of Nordic black metal, from Marvel this week we have What If Ghost Rider #1.
Oh my God.
And
Look
the
at
premise
that.
is, what if Ghost Rider was the frontman for a Nordic black metal band? and get this, even better. It's not your normal Ghost Rider. This is Robbie Reyes from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's even better.
Yeah. In the
that's
car.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the car.
Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen
That looks so
season 4
epic.
of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., when that first premiered, I was like, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, but they did it so good.
Oh, it was so great.
They
it was
did
great.
so good with that. Look at that cover. That's so amazing.
It's beautiful. That's a wallpaper, phone wallpaper in the making.
Yep. Yep.
For sure. And then also from Marvel, so we have these Infinity War crossovers where if you haven't read Infinity War, basically the story of it is that Gamora has gotten the Infinity Gauntlet and she has folded the universe in half.
Okay.
And many well-known characters have combined into two characters.
Because that's how universe folding works.
Yes, because that's how that. We recently had
Stretch even for me.
the Thor Tony Stark crossover, and this one is Laura Kinney and the Scarlet Witch. So
Right.
Wolverine, Scarlet Witch, and it's called Hex. First issue coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's a scary combination.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine Wolverine's healing factor plus the
And
powers
Scarlet
of the
Witch.
Scarlet Witch? That's a scary
I don't
one.
know that you'd need the healing factor if you got the Scarlet Witch stuff coursing through you.
Yeah, but I mean, Marvel has never been known to put limitations.
Yeah.
on it. Why would we need to do that?
It's true. Why does Wolverine's claws glow?
And
Did you hear about? I have one other honorable mention comic for this week. Nightwing.
Aaron was telling me about it.
Yep.
Why don't you tell everybody about it?
So what they've done, DC Comics have been trying to rename Dick Grayson for a long time.
I think we're past the point where you can rename him.
Well, they did. So check out Nightwing 51.
Rick Grayson.
It is Rick Grayson with R-I-C even. It's not even,
I mean, I've never understood why Dick is a nickname for Richard, and if I were Richard Grayson, I wouldn't want to be named Nick. But I mean, this is a character from 50 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Where that name didn't have the same connotations that it does today.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can really just...
Remind me to show you a meme between, I think it was Tony Stark and someone else, like back in the 60s, and apparently there was a common phrase back then that is you would not want to say today.
I've been reading some classic Avengers, and there's some stuff in there that's... I've been reading West Coast Avengers. There's lots of sex. All right, we're moving on. Moving on.
Hey, Jay Spears.
Star Wars. I love this cover.
Is that an owl?
That is an owl. It is gorgeous. So this is
owl.
Star Wars Adventures Tales from Vader's Castle. It is the weekly Star Wars Adventures mini-series that's Halloween themed. It gives you a spooky new tale each week. This week we have a story with Han and Chewie and a terrifying owl.
And that's the silhouette of Vader, too.
There were these owl creatures in the old canon. They were like telepathic force users that they were in wild space, and Luke had an adventure with them. It was weird. I don't think these are them, but those are... Will you guys stop playing with these? All right, we're moving on. We also have the new issue of Vader. This is Vader 22, which also has a beautiful cover. If Alex will... Thank you!
These, like you said, these covers have just knocked them out of the park week after, or month after month.
Yeah, they really are. And if you're not reading Vader right now, he's in the middle of constructing his castle from Rogue One.
Yeah.
So he caused all this havoc on Coruscant.
Yeah.
And the Emperor's like, this is my space. I'm going to give you your space.
Let me have this.
Where do you want? You can have anywhere. You want Naboo? You can have Naboo. You want Tatooine? You can have Tatooine. I want Mustafar.
Of course you do.
So he's building a castle there.
Yeah.
Vader's really good.
Emo Vader.
You should read it. Yeah. But we have a staff pick.
We do have a staff pick.
Mr. is going to tell us about
the disembodied voice of Alex.
I haven't heard a sleeping joke since I was probably in 5th grade. All right, this week's staff pick. Those of us who read comics often...
Go ahead.
We're just mouthing along. Those of us who read comic books often have the friends or relatives or stuff who give you that standard, why do you read comic books? That's such kids' wear. And so there's a book that was put out called How to Read a Comic. And it's an actual breakdown of the history of illustrated story. And that comic fits into the illustrated story. Can you reach over and just knock him in the back of the head?
I'll just check my Facebook.
But it gives you an actual breakdown of the structure of comics, how, not just going panel to panel, but what's the space between the panels, how is it used, is it used in some comics different than things, but it's a real, almost like a academic breakdown, but it's incredibly enjoyable to read, but it gives you fodder to answer those people about, it's only for kids, because it's not. And it goes through the history from, hieroglyphs as being actual, pictographs and things like that to move forward and tell the stories and things like that. And it follows it all the way through history. But it also gives the breakdown of, how structurally to read a comic and why it's structured the way it is and stuff like that.
So is this more of like a one-page how-to, or is it actually?
Oh, no. It's probably
a full graphic novel, right?
Yeah, I mean it's probably 100 pages, and it goes through history and it goes through stuff, and you don't have to sit down and read it, cover to cover. You can kind of pick and choose the chapters and stuff as you go through it.
Right.
But it's a really good educational read for any comic enthusiast who has to answer those questions. They're great stories. This gives you a little more fodder of the history, that you're reading things that are denying the history of putting the illustrations in there to move along and stuff, and kind of gives comics a little more of a elevated feel to what you're reading and stuff. Now, it doesn't make up for all the superheroes in tights, but it does give you the ability to understand how they're doing graphic novels and things like that, and why it's important the way they're doing those kind of things.
If I had Steve Rogers' body, I would wear tights too.
Yeah.
If you had Steve Rogers' body, we would let you.
Yes.
If I had Steve Rogers' body, I would not be doing this show. All right, we're moving on to the Four Horsemen versus series, where last week I thought about offering you a pie bet, and I didn't. Spyro crushes Krampus.
Wait, did you get that screenshot?
I do have it on my phone, but it's not.
Twitter? I about had it with you.
Okay, so we had the largest turnout for a vote ever on Twitter, and Krampus only got one vote.
One Twitter? Come on.
Okay, you would never be able to understand. For my generation,
Spyro was it.
Spyro, of taking aside like the classic Nintendo characters, this is one of the most important video game franchises to my generation. Krampus had no chance. But
an ancient demon.
yes. So who
Wait, I just read Ken's message. Is there a How to Read Grant Morrison comics?
No.
No, there is not.
There's not.
Because I can read Grant Morrison's book on how he wrote his comics.
Does he have a section about Arkham Asylum in there?
I haven't gotten that far. I'm only about halfway through it.
Let me know if it does, because I need to read that and then reread Arkham Asylum. So who won our comment contest?
Comment contests. Where are we at?
You're blue.
So we had two really good longer answers. And these are the ones that I really like. Blaine Seitz and Kyle Warnick. Check out their responses on Facebook. You guys tied for this week. Good job.
Yeah, you both win. You had long comments, and we're not going to read them out here.
Love them.
We're already going long, so we have to keep on trucking. This week, we have the most powerful thing in the Magic Universe versus the boy who lived.
Not this time.
Now, I know in the Goblet of Fire he beat a dragon, but
not this dragon.
no. This is no Hungarian hognose or whatever they're called.
Hungarian hognose.
It's like a Hungarian horntail. Yeah, horntail. God, I'm gonna take flack for that one.
You will never live that one down.
Yeah, for sure. So, for those of you not versed in Magic the Gathering, Nicol Bolas can travel between worlds. He is the universe's most powerful telepath. He can bend time. He is a very powerful wizard.
Yeah.
And Harry Potter.
And we got a Harry Potter.
The boy who lived. I mean, granted, he has that on his side. But,
until he met Nicol Bolas.
I mean, I guess Nicol Bolas could just incinerate his wand.
Yep. Seth writes in the comments, Nicol Bolas is eating a Hungarian horntail in that art.
Yeah, he is. That's a Hungarian.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
No, actually, I think that's the Chinese dragon, because they had the longer tails. Like the blue one, the one that Fleur fought. I don't think there's a lot to say. I think Harry's going down this week.
Harry's got to Twitter. I swear.
Twitter's going to betray you.
They do every week.
You're the Continental Army, and Twitter is Benedict Arnold. You go
Who's
Twitter.
round one? All right, we're going somewhere else.
All right, we're moving on to events. Here's a calendar image of all of this week's events here that we have at Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming. If you need more details on any of these, please go to facebook.com/Four Horsemen Comics and click on the events tab. And Ron is here to tell us about our first big event this week.
We got a HeroClix Secret Wars Battle World release.
Oh.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Keep talking.
Yes, we do. All righty then. Wednesday at 6:45. It's a 2-pack seal with 3 rounds of Swiss. 300-point teams with a $25 entry.
Yes, and then we also have the Pokemon League Challenge, which is this Friday at 6:30 p.m. with a $5 entry fee. And then we have our first Transformers event.
First Transformer, if you guys haven't played this game, you should really check it out. It's Saturday at noon. It's a $35 entry. It's a 6-pack sealed 25-point build, and every player adds 2.5 packs to the pool. I don't know what's going on.
I just told Alex to stop looking for something that's not there.
Oh.
And we also have a really cool Dice Masters event, which is this Saturday at 2 p.m.
Not Sunday.
According to the Facebook page, it is this Saturday. Is that true?
We should probably verify that.
Okay, well, if you're going to attend Dice Masters this week, check with us before you show up. The Facebook page does say this Saturday at 2 p.m. That could be a mistake. Yep. But it is 10 cards for 10 sets. It's a Golden Age format with $3 entry. And for this event, the 10 cards you play with have to be from 10 different sets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool idea from Mr. Trouba Turner. Yes, for sure.
Mr. Turner.
And then the return of what?
Standard
Ravnica?
Showdown. Yes.
Oh, the return to Ravnica. Ravnica even harder. Sorry, what's going on?
Ravnica 2, the Ravnica-ing. Standard Showdown is this Friday at 5, and it is always still free.
Yeah, still free, still Saturdays, and still standard.
Yep.
But is it 5 p.m. now, not 6?
It is 5 p.m.
Yes,
it is
not 6 p.m.
Right.
And then upcoming events, we have the Pokemon Sun and Moon Lost Thunder, pre-release. It's going to be October the 27th. That is a Saturday. Lots of stuff going on that Saturday.
Saturday's going to be insane.
What else is going on that Saturday?
So we've also got the Zombie Walk on that day, which is going to be kind of awesome. It'll be later in the evening. Also, something that's probably not on the list yet is Halloween and Halloween Comic Fest. So,
didn't you tell me that Donnie's coming to Halloween?
Is Donnie? He's coming out of retirement, I hear. Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while.
I have to text him.
Yeah, see what he's doing. He's been really quiet. Thank goodness.
We also have coming up in November the WizKids Fall HeroClix Open. That is a sealed format event. It's going to be on Saturday, November the 3rd. We're also excited about our Warhammer 40K Doubles event.
That's going to be cool.
That's the following Saturday, the 10th.
Yep.
And then we have this thing called
Local Comic Shop Day on the 17th of November.
Yeah.
Come check out your local comic shop.
Are there going to be some things to give away?
There
some
are
sales?
going to be all kinds of things going on that day.
Yeah.
More details, TBD.
Probably Ron will be here. I like TBA. Why do you say TBD?
To be determined.
To be announced. Why do you prefer that?
I don't know.
I have a joke, but it's not appropriate for the show. All right, so we're moving on to the truly superior segment this week in Star Wars.
That's a good picture.
StarWars.com posed the question, why did Luke want to go to the Imperial Academy? If you remember in episode 4...
Yeah, that's where he was. I think I know why he wanted to go.
I think there's an easy answer, but go ahead.
I think he wanted to join so he could make a connection to get to the rebellion.
To defect? Yeah, because that's what Biggs did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the easy answer.
All right.
But let's go deeper.
Let's
go deeper into this hole.
Dive.
Let's jump into this Sarlacc.
Right.
We need a lifeline. Alex, get us a lifeline. Okay. So what if pre-droids Luke is pro-Empire? What sympathy does he have to the rebellion? Pre-droids, pre-Leia, pre-awakening of stuff.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any.
I mean, essentially, Tatooine is a lawless place. The Empire maintains a sort of semi-alliance with the Hutts. So the Hutts have control over Tatooine. So there's no real Imperial presence on Tatooine.
But remember, he was not really pro-Empire because he said if there's a bright center of the universe, you have to planets farthest from.
Yeah.
So I think he was kind of salty that the Empire really wasn't paying attention.
But could that not also be a reason to want to leave Tatooine and go to the center and join the Imperial Academy, become an Imperial officer, go to Coruscant, go to all the Coruscant nightclubs, check out some Twi'lek dancers.
Get some death sticks.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just his country boy attitude. I want to join the Navy and go up the ranks, and then I can go to the bright center of the universe, which is Coruscant, which is the Empire.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So what does StarWars.com say?
I don't know. You'll have to read the article. And I recommend checking out all their articles. They also have a great recipe this week for pumpkin spice Ewok cookies. Just in time for Halloween.
Are they made out of real Ewoks?
Yes. But similarly to deer, you can't sell them in store because you can't guarantee you'll get all the fur out of the meat.
Seth Davis would join the bad guys.
Okay.
I'm with Seth Davis.
So we're taking... Now I want to blow all of your minds. Okay, so this actor, what is his name?
That would be Mr. Mark Hamill.
And he is most famous for the character
Joker.
He is most famous for the character
Luke Skywalker.
And he is second most famous for the character
the Joker.
Okay, now Alex, I want the text box where it says Mark Hamill. I want you to click on that.
All right, hold on. I have to go back.
Ron, I want your attention up here.
All right, I'm watching that.
Yes.
Okay, nothing.
The suspense is killing me.
I just want you to edit the text.
Oh.
Okay, now I want you to delete the I and the LL, and then I want you to delete the M, and then delete the space in the middle. And then show us what we have. And then... That is not what I said to do, Alex.
That's what I heard you say. MARKHA?
No, the M at the front.
Oh.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Wow, you just ruined a moment.
Holy crap. That's really cool.
And we'll be...
That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
That's really awesome.
Okay, we're moving on to this week in movies, where we're doing a movie guessing game. I've got 3 movies. Ron has to guess what it is. Here are the clues for movie number 1. It is a story of a group of young losers,
right?
People who aren't accepted by the general public. They have a talking animal mascot. It is written by James Gunn, and it has a sequel that is also written by James Gunn.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It is obviously
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Scooby-Doo!
What?
Did you know that Scooby-Doo?
James Gunn? Really?
And the sequel.
That explains a lot.
And the sequel, yeah. Gee, Ron, I thought you liked movies.
I apparently don't like movies that
I
well.
thought you liked... All right, well, we're moving on to the next one.
What's my next
Okay, so these are the clues for movie number 2. This is a story of 2 estranged sisters. They love each other, but they don't really get along. Okay. One of them has red hair. One of them's a blonde. One has superpowers.
I was going to say, one of them has superpowers.
One of them has superpowers.
Yep.
Really cool superpowers, like the coolest.
Yeah.
And the other one finds out, and
Freaks
it creates a conflict between them. And this is an American animated feature film. Yeah. And this movie is obviously...
Frozen. Let it snow.
The Wild Thornberrys movie!
What? Wait, what's the superpowers?
She can talk to animals!
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about
and
that.
Debbie finds out this.
I forgot about that.
She can talk. How cool is that?
It's a cool superpower, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right. Number 3.
Okay.
This is an epic space opera. It is one of the most visually stunning movies of its time. And I'm pretty sure the 2 main love interest characters are siblings.
So help me God.
And the protagonist in this film is outstaged by every other actor in this film.
I feel like I'm being railroaded.
And of course, this movie is...
Better be Star Wars.
And yet, the answer is...
I quit. I'm out. That one's pretty good.
I've been sitting on those other 2 for a while.
Oh, that's awful.
All right, we're moving on to the 4 Horsemen mailbag, where last week we had a question that we had to move on away from because we were running out of time.
Right.
So I don't know if you heard the situation, but Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner in the MCU, was recently on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, and he kind of screwed up.
It was a bit. It was a bit. He accidentally said the title of Avengers 4, which we still don't know, and is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Keep it secret.
No. So he accidentally said it.
Yeah.
And then the directors of Infinity War and Avengers 4, the Russo brothers, they tweeted at him and said, "You're fired." And it got me thinking, Mark Ruffalo isn't the first person to play Bruce Banner in the MCU.
It's true.
Of course, originally Bruce was played by
Ed Norton.
And what do you think the MCU would look like today if Ed Norton was still Bruce Banner?
Oh, I don't know.
I can kind of see him in...
I didn't see the arrow in the knee.
An arrow to the knee. I can kind of see him in that first Avengers movie, because
he was a good Bruce Banner. I really liked him as Bruce Banner, but
I can, in my mind, I can put him in that first Avengers movie, but I cannot imagine him doing the same job that Mark Ruffalo did in Thor Ragnarok.
No, yeah, exactly. I don't think he would do that well, because I don't see him as a comedic actor even a little bit.
He has like some. I mean, Fight Club. He had some funny parts, and and even in the first Hulk movie, he had a couple good one-liners, like when him and Liv Tyler get to New York, and he's like, "What's the fastest way to get across town?" And she's like, "Oh, we got to take the subway." And he's like, "You want to put me in a metal car underneath the ground in the most aggressive city in the world?" I mean, so his delivery is okay. It's not like Mark Ruffalo.
No.
But what if Mark Ruffalo was fired? Who would you recast? Or would you recast?
No, you definitely have to recast him, or you just CGI him. I'm not opposed to that. That's not a popular opinion, I know.
I don't think it's legal to do that to people who are still alive.
That's a gray area.
I think Mark Ruffalo's lawyer might have something to say about that.
Yeah, but you got to get 2 or 3 cease and desist orders before they get really serious about it. Just saying.
Okay.
I don't know. It would have to be somebody that I would think would be the Bruce Banner type. And when I think of Bruce Banner in the comics, I think of this little nerdy, scientist. Not even paying attention to what's going on the screen right now. But yeah, he'd be like this little scientist dude, but I don't know.
Rick Moranis' return to
Yes.
film.
Oh my lord, yes. He would be great.
Come on, Steve. We gotta get there. We gotta save the world. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
God,
don't
that'd
know.
be good.
I don't know.
Who'd you cast?
Rick Moranis.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
No, that's fantastic.
No, I would.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
should.
yeah. I don't know. And then when he becomes the Hulk, he's played by John Candy. I'm sorry.
Oh, John
About
Candy.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. Oh, that would be.
Okay, if you're saying
You could CGI him.
if you're gonna say Woody Allen, then maybe I'll say Andy Dick.
You can't say that.
Why?
Because DC just.
Oh, Andy Rick. I'm sorry, DC Comics. Don't sue us.
Not allowed to say that anymore.
Okay. We're moving on. We have a sale. Tell us
We
about
do
our
have
sale.
a sale. We got a ton of toys, figures, and banks downstairs that are all 30% off. Come grab them while you can.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and please do all of our social media things.
We have those.
Hold on.
We have social medias.
Do we?
We do. We have a Facebook thing and an Instagram thing and a YouTube thing, a Twitter, whatchamacallit, a Twitch thing, and this shop.something.com. We do that. Do you want to do this better than me? Because I'm. They're all on the screen.
Do it on your favorite movie announcer voice.
I don't have a movie announcer. I don't think.
You've
Please
seen enough movies that you should be able to.
Please check us out on Facebook.com/4Horsemen Comics or Instagram at 4Horsemen Comics. You can also check us out on YouTube channel, 4 Horsemen Comics and Gaming, and Twitter at the number 4 Horsemen Comics, Twitch at twitch.tv.4Horsemen Comics, and always you can shop our TCG inventory at shop.4horsemencomics.com.
Lieutenant Kiff, cover my thighs. I'm freezing out here.
Not a great
Yes,
Zappa.
sir.
Yeah. No, he always goes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing a scene from The Shinning.
The Shinning, okay.
He's got the Shinning. Do you want to be?
You can't say that word.
You want
How
to
are
be
we gonna get through
Rick
this? Rick
or
Rick
Danny?
Howard? Oh.
You want to be the little boy or the old man?
Which one has less lines?
The little boy.
I'll be Danny.
Okay.
You be Rick.
Seth had the best one.
Do you?
Danny DeVito is the Hulk.
Wait, who was the guy in Game of Thrones?
What's his name? Poor Kev. Oh crap.
He's already been in the MCU. He can't.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
guess he can't be the Hulk.
He's the
All right.
he's
Sorry.
the giant dwarf.
Yeah.
In Infinity War. All right, we're moving on. The Shining. The Shinning.
The Shinning.
God, I love you, Groundskeeper Willie. All right, moving on. Do you know how I knew your name was Doc? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? I can remember when I was a little boy your age, my grandmother and I could hold an entire conversation without ever opening our mouths.
I'm in danger.
She called it the Shinning. And for a long time, I thought it was only the two of us who had the shin.
Josh.
Just like you, who thought it was you, the only one. But there are other folks who don't know it or don't believe it. How long have you been able to do it? The Shinning. Why don't you talk about it?
I'm not supposed to.
Who says you ain't supposed to?
Tony Stark.
Who's Tony Stark?
Tony's a little boy who lives in my mouth. I do not remember that.
You don't remember this movie, do you?
I want to change my answer. It's
Does-
not Tony Stark living in my mouth.
Does Tony tell you things?
Yes.
How does he tell you
Oh
things?
God. It's like when I go to sleep, he shows me things. But when I wake up, I can't remember everything.
Does your mom and dad know about Tony Stark?
Yes. This
Do they-
is so bad.
Do they know that Tony Stark tells you things?
Tony Stark told me never to tell them.
Has Tony Stark ever told you anything about this place? About the Overlook Hotel?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Now think hard, Doc. Think hard, real hard, and try to remember. About the Shinning.
Shinning.
He's got the Shinning!
Like,
You need to rewatch the show.
I do. I don't remember Tony Stark being in it.